Hi, this is Sarah Harralson, and you are listening to me on The David Bradley Show.
Hey, everybody. I hope everybody's doing good. We're having fun. We're just kind of kicking right along with all these interviews and everything. People are coming on, and I'm hoping everybody is watching it, subscribing to them, following them, because this helps these artists out so much. And I really do appreciate it. You make this old man smile every now and then. So we're going to get to it, and we're going to have a very, very good conversation with Miss, I hope I say this right, Sarah Harralson. Did I say that right?
That's it. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. I love it. So what's happening, kiddo?
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, I'm more than happy to have you on because you have done some really good stuff, and you're just like, I heard you during the when we was miking up the guitar and everything, and you were just like, you're like professional playing. Has anybody ever told you that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in Nashville for 12 years now, and, you just get used to it when you do all the gigs and work your own sound at gigs,
Yeah, I love that. I always find that amazing because I've been into several clubs, and I'm like, there's a ton of great sound people out there.
Yeah.
And then you walk into a club and you're expecting, where's the sound people? And they're like, well, there's the board and you do your own sound. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I mean, in Nashville, we're lucky and we're spoiled because we have so many great venues that already have sound and sound engineers. But then when you gig outside of Nashville, that's when you can kind of tell if musicians maybe haven't played outside of Nashville because,
oh, yeah.
You got to trek all your gear and PA, run your own sound for your own show.
That's crazy. More people need to have, because, I mean, when you have that person that's out there that's running the sound and can listen to what you're doing and dial it in perfectly, that enhances the whole performance.
Yeah, it does.
Because, I mean, that's when you get, people up dancing, having fun, talking to you.
Yeah, it's always so much better when you have someone else running sound.
I'm tooting my own horn because I used to do that. I loved it. Caitlin did it for a long time. Did you have fun doing it, Caitlin?
Oh.
Up, unmute.
Well, I'm trying to sip my tea over here.
Caitlin come with her own tea today.
I always do.
I know, but
You don't have tea or coffee.
No.
You should change that.
Well, I need to.
As in you never drink coffee?
No, I don't ever drink coffee.
Oh, wow.
And he only likes super sweet tea.
I don't even drink super sweet tea anymore. It's just the sugar will get you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you might look like you drank 2 or 3 Monster drinks. I can't go with it. It gives me jitters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I said before, once you cut that sugar out, you feel it.
And then you grab a cupcake every now and then. Sugar overload right there. It's crazy how all of it goes. So what made you come to Nashville 12 years ago?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Knoxville, Tennessee, East Tennessee girl. And when I was graduating high school, I wanted to keep pursuing music. So moved here when I was 18, went to Belmont University. I did their music business and production program, and I loved it, and just have stayed here ever since.
See, that's crazy because you actually do more than music. I mean, you've got your own podcast, you've got all these things going on, and I'm at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely do a lot of different things, but I think I felt like I had to when I first came here as well, because I came here to pursue songwriting and being an artist, and being on the creative side.
Yeah.
But, you know, we were talking earlier and, you know, you mentioned how a lot of people, when you see them on stage, they have 2 to 3 other jobs, most likely, until they, you know, have a bigger deal or make it big. And, you know, that was kind of has always been my situation too. Like I was studying on the business side of the music industry to become more educated about it as a and I think that's so important as a creative, even if you're not getting on the business side. But that helped me because I was able to work on the business side of the industry while doing the creative grind at once.
I don't know. Maybe I should take notes here. Because, I mean, that's one thing I hate, because it's like when an aspiring artist comes to town and they get off the bus, it's like all the wannabes are circling, just waiting to get money out of them or whatever they can. And most people don't have that knowledge, you know? I mean, they're just green.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it's so important. And I harp on this a lot. But even if you're not interested on being the business side of the industry, we were talking about my podcast. I had a podcast called Mind Your Music Business, where I would just do interviews, sit down with people on the business side of the industry. And I think it's just a great way to educate creatives on that side of the industry, even if they get, you know, a manager or someone to help with that. I think it's still important to know what they're getting into and what they're signing, and not just fully relying on someone else all the time for the business side.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've got to. And I harp on everybody that I talk to that's an artist. Watch what the hell you sign.
Yep.
Because at any given time, you may think you're signing just a regular management contract, but you get down to the fine print way in it, like 4 or 5 pages back, and all of your original music is going to them.
Yeah.
You don't even own it anymore. It's gone.
Right. Well, not even that, but they can add some clauses in there that sound really great and shiny, and there might be some great things in those contracts, but more often than not, there's some things tucked in there where they own you, they own your likeness, your media. So it's so important to consider everything.
I just call them sharks.
Yeah.
That's what I've just I've seen too much of it. You know, I mean, I was born and raised in Nashville.
Wow.
And,
unicorn.
Yeah, unicorn. And I've seen so much. It got to where it was just driving me nuts. It's like, dude, let's just go ahead and drag them outside and whoop the crap out of them and be done with them, you know?
Yeah, you've seen so much change here in Nashville since you were born and raised here. So it's gotten even crazier and more complex as technology has advanced with music and now with social media, and you have it all wrapped together for artists and creatives.
Yep. And well, I mean, some people get mad at me when I say this, but as an artist nowadays, with everything that is out there, you don't really need a record label anymore. You can do all of it.
It's true. I mean, there's so many great things that a label can offer, such as promotion and, of course, advances and funding. So it's great for that. But yeah, there's so many tools like social media that artists and songwriters can use, and many creatives are their own producers now. So there's so much DIY happening now.
Oh yeah. The bad part about it is, some people are producing stuff that they don't need to be producing.
That is true. There's a lot of that out there.
It's like, okay, Grandma said you sounded great, but trust me, you don't need to cut that song, okay? It ain't going to happen. But that's funny as I'll get out. So you graduated from Knoxville?
I
UT?
did. Well, no, so I went to college here in Nashville at Belmont University, and then I Graduated from Farragut High School in the Knoxville area.
When did you graduate from Belmont?
2017.
When did you graduate, Caitlin?
2020.
Oh, okay.
I was fixing to say there was
Belmont.
a alumni right there.
Nice.
Alumni? Alumni?
Alumni, yeah, that's
Alumni.
Look, I've been up since 4:30 this morning, so if I say something wrong, it's going to happen. It's just the way it is. It's nuts how all of it goes. Oh, Lord. So I noticed you've been doing a lot of writers' rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I do a little bit of everything. I do some write-arounds here and there in town. I've been doing some shows lately with this documentary I'm a part of and some other ladies here in town called Women Behind the Lyrics. So,
Sweet.
we did some shows here in Nashville in October. I think I have some rounds coming up with them later this month. And if I'm not doing shows in here, I'm playing out of town, but it's been fun performing with those ladies, Wendy Moten, Judy Pastor, and Delaney Ann. Delaney's in Texas.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So are they putting like a lot of vibe in behind the ladies in the music industry and stuff?
Yeah, so the publisher I've been working with, Synapse Publishing, this has kind of been her child, putting this documentary together about, women and bringing each other up in the music industry, supporting each other, also just showing what it's like to be on the road as an independent artist and woman. So she put all of us together. I already knew Delaney, so it was wonderful through this process getting to know Wendy and Judy, and we wrote a song together called Pave the Way that's out for the documentary. We did some filming, so they are currently editing the pilot episode, and that will be out this spring. But I think it's just a great look into not only, like I said, what it's like to be a woman on the road, but also just, before you make it big, sometimes, you're getting ready for your gig at a gas station bathroom on the road. So it's definitely showing the reality instead of the glam that reality TV likes to show of what it's like being on the road.
Well, that's what always blowed me away, because the TV glam, you don't ever see all that stuff that's going on. And
right.
You don't see that, 15-hour drive and overnight in a hotel. And sometimes it's not the Hyatt Regency. It's Moto 6 or something,
Exactly. Yeah, there were days on this mini tour that we went on where 5 hours in the hotel, then they filmed us getting on a bus, and the bus was great, but it was older, so it shows like the AC breaking and us rolling up to the radio station at like 5 a.m.,
Yep, everybody looking at you.
Yeah.
It just, people don't ever get to see that side, so that is very intriguing. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I think it's important to show. And, when people think, 4 women doing this together on the road, it really wasn't drama. It was more about us like coming together through the hard times we had on the road. And it's interesting because each of us 4 ladies in the documentary, we are all different generations. So we come from different backgrounds, ages. So it's really cool seeing how our different backgrounds come to play together on the road and on stage.
Yeah. And that's, there's another aspect of that I've actually seen. Female artists, when they go on the road and they got kids.
Yeah.
And they're having to take the kids and a mom or nanny or something like that with them, just to try to keep it all together. It's amazing what a lot of women go through to get that done.
I can't imagine. And that's a conversation we had because none of us in the documentary, none of us have kids, but, Delaney, she is the youngest, and she's like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do when I want kids, how to go on the road. And, Wendy doesn't have kids, but she chose to have a life on the road, constantly traveling and everything. But Wendy's done background vocals for people like Martina McBride, Faith Hill. They have kids, and she was just saying like they made it work even early on in their careers. Obviously, it helps when you're a signed artist and have the funds to have someone like a nanny to help you on the road, but
if not, you got to call mom.
Yeah, have your support in place for sure. It's definitely a challenge with women in music.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's because I drove truck for a long time. And every now and then when I'd pull in to get fuel or something, you'd always see a tour bus had artist on it or something like that. And every now and then you'd see a female artist and there would be like, a couple of kids in tow, and she was wasn't even worried about anybody else around her. Mm-hmm. She was concentrating on the two kids, getting them in, getting them out, and doing everything with them. And my hat goes off to a lot of ladies that do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so different from a male artist being on the road, because usually the situation with that is, the mom can stay home with the kids or bring the kids out on the road when the male artist is performing. So it can definitely be a different dynamic. But, even Lauren Elena, she just had a baby and she's dealing with taking her baby out on the road too. So,
oh, yeah.
It's definitely an interesting struggle.
It amazes me because it's a dynamic that people don't actually take into consideration.
It's true. Yeah. I think people either think, it's all or nothing. If you want a life on the road, then you can't have kids. But I don't think that's the case anymore, as long as you have support. But yeah, people just don't realize about it as much. I think it's important to talk about.
Well, it's, I breach a lot of different topics and stuff, and what I really want is for people to understand an artist doesn't just get up in the morning, have coffee and breakfast, and they're on a plane flying, 5,000 miles over, and they land and they just immediately go on stage and sing their songs. There is a lot of work and a lot of things that go into this whole setup that people don't even consider.
Oh, yeah. There's so much that goes into it. And even putting kids aside, it really takes a toll on anyone's mental health who is in music on the road, constantly dealing with change all the time.
Yeah. And unsavory people.
Yes, that too.
Oh, that cracks me up. It's just, there's a lot of things about it that sometimes it's funny when you hear the stories and everything. And then sometimes you're just like, dude, how, and like you said, the husbands, when they are an artist and they go on tour, usually the wife stays home with the kids and all that, and the guys just come back and forth. But when you get into the whole dynamic of it all, when the ladies are the artist and they're outgoing, there is so much that goes in with all of that just to bring their song to that stage for their fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm very lucky, even though I don't have kids. My husband is my biggest supporter, and he's also a drummer. So it's been great because, playing drums is beyond me, but being able to, play with a drummer at my disposal, it's definitely helped me with timing and other things on stage. And I also don't understand, and he's not a singer, but I don't understand drummers who can drum and sing at the same time.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Because, it's weird because you got to keep that time, you got to keep going. And even when you're playing guitar, I'm actually astonished when I see people play guitar and sing, because I don't know if that two function brain, I guess I don't have that or something. I don't know.
There's definitely certain songs that are very difficult for me to play on guitar and sing, and it's usually the ones that have like an interesting guitar loop. That's just a total different rhythm from the singing, the melody line.
Yeah. I don't know. You're married to a drummer. Every now and then, just to get on his nerves, I think I would be in there just beating on the drums every now and then just to wake him up or something, you know.
It's funny because he's so particular about the position of his drums.
Kind of brings what was that movie, Step Brothers or something, where, you know, the one was hollering, "Did you touch my drums?"
Yep, that's him.
That is crazy. That would be fun, though, to have around the house, though.
It is fun. Yeah. And, you know, we do a lot of acoustic gigs too, or he'll just bring cajon or hand percussion. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I love, because I hadn't really seen somebody do more than just like one song with a cajon. But I was at a place and American Blonde was playing at the listening room.
Yeah.
And they had the cajon. And I could actually get into that because it was more of like your buddy's got a 55-gallon drum or something and you pull out the guitar and you just start having a good time. And I could really get into that.
Yeah, I love it stripped back like that. And yeah, she's another example of someone who drums and sings at the same time. And yeah, I got to play with them and around at the Bluebird Cafe last year. So yeah, they're great.
Yeah, it just amazes me because I'm a big Andy Griffith fan. And I loved it when, you know, the Darlings were on playing music with Andy. And the old man with the brown jug, you know, all that things that incorporated to come across with that sound.
Yeah.
You know, I was just talking to somebody the other day, you know, Steven Tyler was talking about when they did Sweet Emotion, the maracas broke and he was sitting there with 2 packets of sugar, shaking them in the microphone.
I love that.
To get that sound. And I was telling them, you know, when I first started recording people, back when I was, 19, 20 years old, it was in this guy's basement recording studio. And we used to do stuff like that. It's like when people wanted to have a certain sound, if we didn't have an instrument or something to create that sound, then we kind of put our heads together and figured out what we could use to create that sound.
Yeah.
And that was back in the reel-to-reel days. So we had a lot of fun with it. Nowadays, it's more like point and click and, you know, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's all in the box or in a production library now. So I think it's cool when you can recreate it live instead of just hitting a button. And I still think there are certain sounds you can't reproduce just from a sound library.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what bothers me about that is you can get it out of the sound library. What are you doing when you play live?
Right. Yeah. Unless you're running the tracks.
I'm against tracks. I've always been, I hate them. I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, because my big thing is if you're playing, then you've got talent. If you're singing, then you've got second level talent. And that to me means more than auto-tune and all this other crap. Because then you got to take all that crap on live with you, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, especially if you're doing live instruments to a track, you have to stay right on time. You can't embellish. So there's not really room to have freedom in your live performance when you have to follow a track the whole time.
Yeah, and that's what I don't like.
Yeah.
Because if I'm paying good money to see somebody, I expect to see somebody.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's different, of course, with pop and rap with tracks. But, if it's like country or rock, I want, live instruments.
Yeah. And I ain't even getting into that. But anyway. La, 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 la. So, how did you get into music? What pulled you to actually start doing what you're doing?
Well, I was around music constantly growing up. My granddad was a bluegrass musician in East Tennessee. So he worked in the railroad industry, but he also did music in his spare time and played accordion and played with bluegrass bands in Knoxville. I even have like a black and white photo. He got to share the stage with Dolly Parton when she was 13.
Nice.
And he's playing accordion on the stage with her in Knoxville. And, that's when, she was just starting out. So it was cool that he got to have that moment with her before she blew up. But so I was around him playing music. My mom played piano. She listened to a lot of pop and rock. My dad listened to country music. So I was around a lot of different genres growing up. And my parents split at an early age when I was 8. My siblings are much older than me, 13 and 16 years older than me. So, by the time I was, that age at 8, they were already out of the house, going to college. So it was kind of like it was just me and my mom while I was growing up. And I felt like I didn't have a typical childhood compared to, my peers.
Yeah.
So I just fell in love with music and songwriting at an early age and started using songwriting as a method to, get out how I was feeling at the time.
That's awesome. Because I don't know if you call it a kind of like a little checklist I do or something. I don't know. But the weird part about it is a lot of artists, songwriters that I've talked to, they have that freedom of music and everything in their life even when they were young, 4 or 5 years old. Mom and dad's listening to different stuff. And then you had a lot of other influence as far as musicianship. So, I mean, it's kind of like a pot brewing, you got a little stew here, a little stew there, and everything comes together and it creates who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a little bit of everything growing up. My mom got me into piano lessons at a young age and
awesome.
And musical theater. Yeah. So I took that. I took the music theory that I learned from piano, taught myself guitar in high school. And then, ultimately I fell in love with the storytelling aspect and authenticity of country music. So I was drawn to that the most. But if you listen to my music, there's a lot of songs where I have subgenres sometimes of pop or rock or blues, and that's because I just grew up listening to a melting pot of genres.
Yeah. Say, I love that. When you write, what instrument do you love to write with?
It's mostly guitar. It's funny because piano was my first instrument, but now guitar has definitely become my primary instrument.
Yeah, that's wild because, you could almost flip a coin because some people love writing with a piano, and then other people, they love writing with just a guitar. And it blows me away. And it's about 50-50 how it all goes.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely love changing it up sometimes, especially when I'm stuck. Sometimes it's easier just to jump on piano and see if, something comes out easier that way.
Well, see, my great-grandmother, she played by ear. And I don't know how or why, but, they say things jump generations. And she was the only one in that time frame that was musically inclined, because she couldn't read or write music at all. But if she heard it, she could play it. And she could come up with her own music playing different things. And I learned just a little bit of piano from her. But it was just, they had, I can't even remember what year it was, but it was way back in the, I think, 50s. Her and my grandfather and two other gentlemen had a little band, and it was called the Adamsons. And then nobody else in the family got musically like that except for one of my cousins can play the crap out of a daggum guitar. He's out in California right now. And I don't know. I was just kind of like, why couldn't you just show me? Why couldn't it hit me? You know, because I always wanted to play. I always wanted to be able to do all that stuff. Yeah. But I can't even write songs.
It's definitely wild to me when people can just play by ear and just by hearing something. That's definitely a skill I don't really have.
Well, I can't say I don't like it. I do. I actually love it. If you ever run into somebody and it's like no matter what you put in their hands, they can just play it.
Oh, yeah.
And you secretly say, I hate you, you know, but they make it look so seamless, so flawless, so just, was you born with the damn thing in your hand or what, you know?
Yeah, I definitely have co-writers like that too, where, you know, and sometimes they're not artists themselves, but, you know, full songwriters, and, you know, you give them an idea and 30 seconds, they have a whole story and melody in mind.
It's almost sickening, isn't it?
Sometimes, yeah.
I got a buddy of mine. His name's Coley, and I've known him ever since high school. But it's like, he helps me out sometimes. And he's one of those guys I could take, and if I want to put something down or write something, like my bio, he spent 10 minutes on the phone with me, and I was telling him about, you know, things that I'd done and all this other stuff. And he's like, okay, well, I'll send it over here in a little bit. I was like, what? Okay. And then he sends this thing over, and I'm just like, you dog, how do you do that? Because he just took everything that I told him and eloquently wrote it out.
Wow.
And I'm just like, damn. Yeah. And I've run into different songwriters that are just like, you can tell them something. And next thing you know, it ain't a stopwatch would probably go maybe a minute and a half. And they're sitting there singing something out of it. And I'm like, how did you put the words and the freaking music together that daggum quick?
And it's just as fast and still better than Suno.
Yeah, well, you know, it just amazes me. All that stuff is just crazy. But it's the creative process, you know.
It is, yeah.
And I'm in awe at different people's creative process, how they all come together. And with the pop side, I think it's more on the dance part of it, the getting all this out. And the rock side, there's a little bit of a story. Not a lot, but it still stays in with a certain parameter. But country music is the only one that you can actually start a story and take it on out.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, that's why I was always drawn to country music the most, just the storytelling aspect and just being so authentic through that genre.
Now, do you have, because I've noticed some artists, they stay more along the breakup songs, the love gone wrong songs. Do you hit different areas or do you have like a particular theme going on?
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up because, especially like in my early 20s, it was so easy to write, love songs and breakup songs. And then as I've gotten older, had more experiences, I'm able to write about more things I've been through, whether that's like a loss of someone or just
Yeah.
general things we can relate to in life. And I've released a lot of those different topics, but one thing I haven't released or put out there as much is, my young childhood. And I think it's because a lot of those memories I have are so deeply personal to me that some of those songs I've written felt like it would be weird putting that out, or even some of my family members like hearing about some of that pain or some of the things I went to or maybe went through or some of the things I thought about them growing up. But I'm really excited. I just released a single called House Divided last October. So
Yeah.
it's about being split between Tennessee and Alabama, growing up between my parents, feeling like you're rooting for two people and, two football teams. It definitely has that theme. But this spring, I'm releasing an EP that's autobiographical. So it goes through kind of the timeline of myself growing up, and we're shooting some video content. We're going back to the first house I grew up in
Wow.
Alabama. We're shooting some footage there. We're going to Knoxville, shooting some footage there. So it's going to be deeply personal, just being able to put that out there. And I think it'll feel very therapeutic for me as well, just to be able to go back through those memories.
Yeah, it will. But the thing that I like is when you can take an experience and you can put it into a song and recreate the videos and stuff like that. It's amazing how many people actually relate to that song.
So there's a song on my upcoming EP. It's unreleased, but it's called One State Away. And my dad is a truck driver, but our relationship has always been kind of rocky. There were 10 years between me at age 17 and 27 where we didn't speak. I didn't see my father. And it occurred when my mom passed, and that's when I got rekindled with my father again, and we have more of a relationship now. But I'm going to put out a song about how we had that, rocky relationship. And when he was a truck driver, I always wondered, if he was passing by Nashville or where
Yeah.
he was. So it's definitely a deeply personal song that I'll put out there.
Yeah. And I can relate to that one because on the weekends, I did lights and sound.
Uh-huh.
Monday through Friday, I was out on the road. And then there was times that as my kids got older, I was staying out a little bit longer. And it would it'd tear me up. I couldn't see them. I couldn't be there, So I'm very interested in hearing the song.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just excited to branch out in the stories that I'm sharing too, because I do think it's important for artists to, of course it's important to release and write songs about breakups and relationships, but I think it's great to release songs about a little bit of everything that people are going through and can relate to.
Yeah. And that's what I was telling Grace Mayer. She was talking because the way she writes and everything. And I was just like, that's one thing that I envy because I can't write. But when you're able to write a song from the heart, from the experience, and that song connects with so many people, it brings everything full circle.
Yeah.
And it helps so much with healing.
Yeah. And that's, exactly how I find my purpose as a creative, is being able to write and share a song that people can connect with and find healing with. Just like you said, even if you're not able to put your own story into words, maybe someone else's, and maybe you can connect with that. And with all the negativity in the music industry, I think it's always so important to remember that.
Oh, yeah. And have fun.
And have fun, yeah.
Because I was talking to one person, and they were just like, I know you've heard this term, writer's block.
Uh-huh.
And they were blocked. They were trying to write something, and it wasn't going the way that they wanted, and they just shut down on the song. And I told them, I said, your biggest problem is you're thinking too hard into it. You're trying to dictionary every freaking word,
Yeah.
and some things aren't going to match. Some things aren't going to rhyme. But when you tell a story, you ain't sitting there rhyming anyway. This ain't rap. This is country.
Yeah. Well, and it's not always important about being as clever as you can.
Yeah. Just have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's my big thing about everything. Doesn't matter what job you do. If you can't have fun in it, find a job that you can have fun with.
Yeah. You have to love it.
It opens up so much more for you.
I agree. Yeah, I think that's so important.
I think it's more people need to pay attention to that. Because I know a lot of people out there that they're doing a job, but they hate the job.
Yeah. And you got to love what you do.
When you come home from that job, you're an irritable, cranky little butt. If you was able to go to a job and have some fun, because to me, I seen artists that would come in, they'd be a little bit cranky or something wrong or something. But the minute they hit that stage, man, and feeding off that energy that's coming back to them, having fun on stage and everything else, it was a totally different person at the end of the night.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just a lot for all of us, but I think being on stage, going back to finding what your purpose is, it just refocuses what's important and why you do what you love.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. Oh, Lord. So was you going to do a song for us?
I would love to, yeah.
The microphone goes wherever you want it.
Get all positioned here.
Yeah, well, it pulls out too.
There we go.
Isn't that cool?
Perfect. All right. So I was talking to you about my latest single, House Divided, I released in October. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start with that one.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so people can find that all streaming platforms on Sarah Harralson.
Got a closet full of orange and crimson. It's hard to choose between two teams you love cheering. One raised you, one made you the person that you are. A split like this is known for breaking hearts. It's always gonna be such a big rivalry, saying roll tide and GBO on the same Saturday. I knew they would My dad was away, and I was playing just one field. The excitement of the game on the third Saturday of October would come and go for another year. Then it was over. It's always gonna be such a big rivalry, saying roll tide and GBO on the same Saturday. I knew they would never be good together, and picking a favorite only leads to danger. It's not something you can hide when you grow up house divided. Always root for both, 'cause whatever the weather, it's time spent together. It's always gonna be such a big rivalry, saying roll tide and GBO on the same Saturday. And I knew they would never be good together, and picking a favorite only leads to danger. It's not something you can hide, and I don't want to hide it. I'll survive a house divided.
Wow.
Thank you.
You know, that I started to ask you when you was talking about from East Tennessee,
Yeah.
and I was going to ask about, was there a rival? And then you come up with that song, and that is awesome.
Yeah, and I wrote that song a few years ago, and I released it last October, the day before the Tennessee-Alabama football game. But, I always got so much crap growing up for, cheering for Vols and Alabama, because that, and that's such a huge no-no.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that actually is a big rivalry there.
Yeah, and it had to do with a house divided with teams, because my own house was divided growing up, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. I mean, that's got to be why a lot of people have houses that cheer for different football teams.
Oh yeah, it just it takes me back to I had a black and white TV in my bedroom when I was younger, and Dad always had the living room TV. He would have one football game going on in there. I'd have a different one in there, because even if they were playing each other, I couldn't take his ribbing and his bugging. And the minute his team made a touchdown, it was on, man. I mean, it was just, God, just shut up.
Couldn't even watch in the same room.
It was nuts. It was crazy as all that goes. That's cool as I'll get out. Oh, what else you got for us?
All right, I can do another song. I'm going to do one. It was a single I released this year that was on that Women Behind the Lyrics compilation album that I was talking about. So people can follow at Women Behind the Lyrics to stay up with the documentary, any upcoming shows we're doing together. But this one is called Put Yourself in My Boots. It's been spinning on radio. It's on the Music Road charts right now, so we're hoping it gets a little bit higher. But you can stream this one too.
Awesome.
You ain't from around these parts, don't share the same roots. You're kind of a problem, ain't the kind I've been through. I've dug all day for a little more change. Does a little more change mean much to you? Put yourself in my boots. Haven't always had it as easy as you. I walk in different dirt, I'm sure it's nice when you're wearing those shoes, but the marks on mine show my whole truth. Yours lasts a day, mine lasts a lifetime. Can't help what you're giving, but you can choose to put yourself in my boots. Haven't always had it as easy as you. I walk in different dirt. I ain't saying your pain don't hurt, but you might get me if you put yourself in my boots. Put yourself in my boots. If you're willing to put yourself in my boots. Haven't always had it as easy as you. I walk in different dirt. I ain't saying your pain don't hurt, but you might get me if you put yourself in my boots. Put yourself in my boots.
Damn, girl. I like that.
Yeah, I wrote that years ago and did a demo of it. And at the time, I just wrote it about, don't judge people from where they come from, different backgrounds. And it just happened to be a great song for this Women Behind the Lyrics project I was doing too, from a perspective of, what women have to go through sometimes.
Oh, yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that actually had almost like a little folksy vibe to it.
It is, yeah. So there's definitely in my songs sometimes a little bit of folk. And I think, because, I grew up listening to so many genres, but Jewel was always one of my favorites. So
I love her.
yeah.
It just, because there were several songs that she did. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, they helped me through some rough times.
Yeah, for sure.
And it just, I don't know. I love all creatives and how they do that stuff and the way they put things together.
Yeah.
And it's just, it blows me away how all of it works, because I'm on the other end of it. I'm listening to it, and there's certain songs that people create and do that they touch me, they affect me. Mm-hmm. And when you're going through a breakup and you've got that song that's, it's there, you can relate. You're going through the same things, and it helps so much.
Yeah.
That's why I've told a lot of people, and this is honestly how I feel. Every song, I think, that gets wrote, people need to hear them.
I agree. Yeah.
Because you never know who it's going to touch, who it's going to affect, who it's going to help. It could save somebody's life.
Yeah.
You never know. It's just, it's music is what affects us all.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think it's so important to get your songs out there for the world to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I love it. And I'm glad you got those two songs out.
Yeah. Yeah. People can find it under Sarah Harralson. So definitely follow me for any upcoming music and shows I'm doing too.
You post everything on your website?
Yeah, it's on sarahharralson.com, upcoming music and shows, and then pretty much at Sarah Harralson for everything social media.
I love it. Have you started doing any of... I've seen different people, they'll like sing while they're making coffee, or they'll sing while they're folding laundry or stuff like that. Have you started doing any of that?
That's like never really been my thing, but I love doing like clips of songs, like playing with my husband, like we were talking about. Like I'll just have him play on cajon while I'm playing a cover or something.
Yeah.
So we like doing that from time to time, just us jamming out at home to a song.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's a less than sign, in case you were wondering.
I noticed that. That's what I was wondering about. Caitlin loves her chalkboard.
I love it.
It's fun. You got to have stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, girlfriend, I really appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, David. It's been great.
We're gonna hop off, and we're gonna take. I'm gonna add you to my playlist because
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
I'm really digging a lot of your music, a lot of things that you're doing. All right, everybody. So we're gonna get off here, and we appreciate if you've subscribed, if you've followed, if you've done any of those things. We really do appreciate it. And remember, all these artists that I have on this show, artists that you like that haven't been on my show yet, follow them, subscribe to them. It helps us all, because if you want that artist in your town, the booking agent for that region is looking at their subscribers, their followers, everything that you can do to help these artists get to your town. Trust me, when they do get there, they're going to love meeting you. They're going to love when you buy merch. They're going to love when you take and stand in line and get an autograph with them or have your picture made with them. All of these new era country artists are loving this so much, and they are having so much fun with you as the fan. It's amazing. I've even talked to several of them that just love sitting there and listening to what story you may tell them, because you never know. It could be a song one day. All right, we're going to get off here. Love you. Mean it. Bye.